I knew I had one of them working somewhere. Another peaceful Saturday morning. Oh, Saturday afternoon. Time slips away when you sleep in till midday. Today we are looking at, well, another, pretty much the same as what we were doing yesterday, which was the Mega Drive modding, just fitting the switches to the cases. This one I've done here, the holes were fantastic. And look at that. Does that even look like it was not there to begin with? Pretty good job if you ask me. So this one, I just noticed that for some reason I had the wrong type of switch. I don't know why I had one of these on there instead of one of the toggle switches. So we're going with toggle switches because that's what I want. And they're easier to fit because they're round. These ones you could sacrifice a switch, use it as a sort of a cutout, but it's going to be a pain. So we'll just do this. We've got some other exciting things planned today, such as oh, what else do I have to do? I'm going to clean up the Sophia a bit. I don't know if I'll record that, but it's got a bit of smoke damage, which is never a good thing. Whoever used it as a developer was a very heavy smoker. So hopefully they pumped out some good... Although, that said, if I was programming for a Saturn, I would probably be under a lot of stress as well. Now, why'd I come over here for? Scissors. Scissors? Scissors? Scissors. I just realised I don't need to desolder that at all. I can just snip it. Oh, that's what else I was just thinking of doing. I was thinking of I can go with the bin. Oh good, I missed it. It's now in my bedroom. Fantastic. The Iowa Mega CDs. I was going to do a step-by-step. I did not note how this was connected. I'm going to go need and retrieve that switch right away. Huh. I will be back in a jiffle. Switch. Yeah, switch. Go. Found it. So green is in the center. It's essentially a switch that's always on. These ones, they've got the three prongs, 3 connections, and what that means is that you throw it one way, it activates the 2 furthest away points. Just flick it the other way, it activates the other 2, and using that you can then have 2 on. So this one is the language switch. So what did I say? Green in the middle. It doesn't look like green's in the middle. So I probably should tin these first in order to solder them, but I'm going to do it the lazy way. Just wrap this copper around the prongs. There we go. And I'll just hit it with a crap ton of solder and we should be good. Looks good to me. Also looks good to me. Let's get that center one. Hindsight, probably should have done the center one first. Ah, hindsight is such a turd. Pardon my French. A little bit more solder and we'll be good. Huh. And that is good enough. And now it should fully function. Let's go test it. Right now. Alright, so we're here with the Mega Drive, it's all hooked up. Ah, that's fair enough. So 60 Hz mode is pretty much a Genesis mode. So flick the switch over. That looks more promising. There we go. Now if I flick it over to 60 Hz mode now. Oh, music's sped up. Sounds nice. So there you go. That one works. You'll notice that the rolling blue lines that were present on the other one are notably absent. 50 Hz mode. So, yeah, I've got to work out what was causing that on the other one. This one's actually got quite a funny story behind it. It's one that I thought I'd sold as damaged / broken, and I found out I still had it. That brown wire that traces around there is joining two points that I had originally cut. Oh, it must be one of my earliest Mega Drives since I started collecting in 2011. And the poor thing, I cut through it to get 60 Hz mode. I got 60 Hz. I lost colour because I didn't have the crystal clock attached, which I do now on this one. But I still need that brown wire there because the mod I was doing did not involve cutting that trace. So that's a funny story for your kids if you have kids. Language switch will assume works, so I'm going to get it all cased up and we'll give it one final test with, I guess, Streets of Rage. Yeah, Streets of Rage. We'll be back after the break. Pew 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 pew. Ah, why not? I figured I'd get this on video as well, putting it back into the case. One thing that we want to note is that when I do this, I don't use the EMI shields anymore. They're gone now. And I think it makes for a better world, because EMI shielding really can cut you pretty bad. I work with computers during the day, and I'll be honest, I miss the days of no Mr. FCC. Oh God. So this one for the screws, it's pretty easy to tell which ones go where. Oh. The shorties, which go through the main board, the goldies, which go through the the base, and the 2 long ones go in the cartridge slot. So before I do this though, I need to document this one because I haven't actually done that yet, and yeah, I'll come back right back to this. Well, I managed to find some room on my workbench, which is surprisingly difficult at times. So to do this, you want to make sure there's no EMI shield in there. Next, grab this spacer, which normally sits above the EMI shield, and just place it gently there. Just pop the board in as you normally would. Watching for any cables, of course. Line it up like you do every other time. Why is it not clicking? Ah, a capacitor was blocking it. Funny old capacitors. So now the board's in, you'll need the 2 long screws. And just either side of the cartridge slot. Be sure not to over tighten them though, you don't want to put any additional stress on the board that it hasn't already been through. Now onto the shorties. Now because we don't have EMI shielding, we'll want to be putting these in not too tight, because normally there would be a bit of EMI and we don't want to pierce through the bottom shell. Now put them in the most important places. I think they're actually more screw holes with the EMI shielding removed, going off the last one I did. Either that or I'm going crazy. So controller ports are pretty important because there's a lot of movement happening there. The back of the machine, where the sockets are, is important. And you don't, having them in the corners is usually a good idea. So just make sure each corner has one. And then we have 2 left and 3 4 holes. So I'm gonna one over here just to keep him down, and one over here. I don't foresee this being used with Mega CDs too often, and even then it doesn't really put too much stress on the actual board itself. It's more the casing that gets pretty damaged. So now we grab the beautifully done Mega Drive case with its, look at those, fantastic, and we simply put them through. So I'll go with the language switch in the back right hand corner like I did last time. If I put these washers on or not, so I'm going to leave them off. Just allows for a much flusher fit. Washers, spacers, I don't know what they are. 2 different types. Just be very careful not to pull on any of the solder connections. Or you might lift a track off the main board and never be able to use the language switch. Which is very easy to do, because if you've had a look at the region switch mod, it is not an easy one to do. Rocket switches. Now your next bet after doing that is to get a pair of pliers, just tighten the switches so they'll never come off. Oh, that is a very tight one there on that language switch. I might tape that down a bit just so that the next person who opens it doesn't damage it. And then, what else can we do? Probably the tape. You'll want a bit of blue tack as well to hold down the external crystal. Could actually make that prototype board significantly shorter. I'm using Captain tape again, yellow tape. It's very temperature resistant. So I'm just taping down that now. So just a bit of tape on there, just to tape that bit can go around there. And the best thing is about these boards, you've got all these capacitors everywhere, so you can use the capacitors just to route things. It's pretty handy, I'm not going to deny that. So, crystal. Well, that's going to be the best way to do this. Probably just like the other one, I'd say. So wrap it in a bit of tape. Can't remember which way it went around last time, so I'll just do it this way. Hope for the best. Your aim is to just sort of cover it over so the metal and underside don't short out on anything or accidentally hit the ground. I don't know if that would be a very good thing. Good squeeze. Just be very careful of your little ceramic capacitor underneath if you've decided to pop that there, because it might very well short out if pushed on too hard. So I found that the so my prototype board's a bit longer than it should be really. I should have cut 3 more holes off, but I can use that just to put a bit of blue tack under and just tack it in this little side bit here, which is a very good fit. So I'm going to get some blue tack. Big blob of blue tack, stick it underneath. Give it a good stick down. It's nice and flush. Not that it really matters. Get all your excessively long cables and short ones back inside the case. Try and keep them away from the voltage regulator if you can. Just because voltage regulators tend to get hot because they're regulating voltage. These cables will probably cause a ton of interference. Or just completely block some of the screw mounts and cartridge port. It's all good. And there, we're back in one piece. Oh, that language switch has a good sound to it. Let's get it hooked in, give it a go. And we're back with Streets of Rage. So at the moment it's set to 50 Hertz and I assume English. You can see those blue lines. Not as well as on the other one though. So let's speed it up. And switch to English. No signal. Or we'll just restart the console. Technology. Now it's running at 60. Now we should be in Japanese. I'll switch over to English. There we go. And now I'll switch to 50. Okay. That's cool. 60. Oh, much more upbeat. So there you go. 2 down. This one's much better than the other one. As always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, we'll do that dump of the Iowa Mega CD a bit later on. Figure I've got the soldering iron out. Bare knuckle! Subscribe and eat a cheesecake because you deserve it.